let's go down to the south coast in KwaZulu-Natal. We're seeing some echoes of issues there as well. They are calling, in the lower south coast region, residents there are calling for permanent solutions after dealing with these ongoing water delays for a prolonged period. So residents are using what's known as a Vula Vala, an open and closed system, or an open and closed system, a closed and open system, sorry, which sees water being available and then unavailable on certain days. Now, our Silethiwe Ndlovu is there with the local community. She's live for us from the south coast and joins us now. Silethiwe, if those residents were commiserating with residents from here in Gauteng, particularly in the city of Johannesburg, we all know what we're talking about when it comes to not having water for prolonged periods. What are you hearing there?
The big question, Iman, this morning is whether residents actually believe what came out from the Sona yesterday when you are looking at what the president said about water. And from the discussion that we've had before going on air, it doesn't seem as if a lot of people were quite moved about what was stated. But let's get more on that conversation. Let's bring in DA1 Ward Councillor Stephanie Breert. Thank you very much for your time. I think I just want to start off by getting your reaction regarding what was stated yesterday regarding water.
Hi, good morning, and thank you very much for being here. I think everybody wants to be positive. I want to be positive. We have had promises before. Some of them have barely come true. So certainly where we are in the south of KZN, where we've had water issues for 9 years, 10 years, we're starting to say we want to see proof. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. So if we get a good year ahead of us with better water, everybody will be grateful. But I think people on the ground and myself are a little bit cynical. We want to see action and not just the stories which we've heard before, promises, good ideas, very good ideas. Let's see them happen.
And what is that action? Before I get into what seems to be the problem in this area, let's speak about the actions that people actually want to see on the ground.
Well, we're standing in an area called KwaZulu-Natal that hasn't had water in its taps for between 6 and 7 years now. We're in the Ndlovu section of Ugu district municipality where we just don't get water. It's an electricity issue. So what happens is, and it's right along the whole coastline, so every single ward councillor is affected this way. We have questions asked of us as ward councillors. Why are we not getting water? We turn to Ugu municipality and say, why are we not getting water for our areas? Ugu turns to Eskom and says, why are you not supplying us with the electricity we need? And it all comes back to a small community on the on the north part of Eastern Cape that is not allowing Eskom to put a line through. So I think from the end of December to virtually the whole of January, 4 to 6 weeks, we had some people with not a drop of water in their taps in this area. And we were very disappointed because Ugu leadership did not come out and tell people. They did not call a recess committee. They did not talk to people and tell them what was happening. We got the first statement I think we got, and I am open to correction, I can't find another one, was on the 10th of January. And that didn't really explain.
And before we move into those specifics, the issue here regarding water is a bit complex. You mentioned Ugu, you mentioned Eskom. What is happening on the lower south coast?
It is complex. To go back to 2019, Eskom said that they could not supply enough electricity for all the pumps to operate. And we don't have a water shortage, we actually have an electricity shortage. We get our water from the Ndlovu River, which is plentiful, but we've got to get it pumped up from the river up a high, steep hill to a storage dam where it's got to be stored, purified, and then sent out to reservoirs. That treatment plant actually supplies 190,000 people with water. So we need those 4 pumps, but we haven't got enough electricity. So Eskom said that they would be able to supply electricity from the Eastern Cape. That was in 2019. There still is no electricity from the Eastern Cape. The community there blocks all efforts to get that electricity done. So we've got this big circle, it goes round and round in circles, and basically it's a political will to get this done. We're starting to see some efforts now. We're starting to get people in the GNU and GPU are trying to force things to happen, to get COCTA involved, to get all sorts of things involved. In fact, our MPL, Riona Gokul, sent a letter to COCTA asking for Ugu to be put under administration, just to try and sort out the problems, because we have pipes that need to be replaced. We have electricity outages. We've had years without proper staff. They're in place now, but we had years without them. It's a problem.
Stephanie, thank you very much for your time this morning. That's where we leave that conversation for now, Iman. But it seems as if on the lower South Coast, it's an issue of insufficient power that is now leading to water outages. But of course, we will be hearing more from residents and also the municipality regarding not just the interventions, but also the plans that they have for this community and others along the South Coast.
And it's an opportunity that government is losing or missing out on, Silethiwe, in fixing that infrastructure, because you've got good, drinkable, usable water, around 50% of which is just going to waste because those pipes are so leaky and so faulty.